Welcome to the holiday season, a time for Thanksgiving, a time to think about how we can give to others. One of the most precious gifts we can give doesn't come with wrapping paper and a bow. It's inside of us. And there are people all around the world hoping and praying each day for it. All it takes is one person who is willing to donate a piece of themselves. And it's where we begin tonight with two lives woven together by the gift of life. Shelley Crawford, a member of our WBTV family, and Celeste Brintley, a wife and mom from Kings Mountain.
I was watching our station. A story that was running just caught my attention.
A living donor kidney could buy Angie another 20.
And it was about a woman who needed a kidney, and her mom was doing a major marketing campaign to find her daughter a kidney from a living kidney donor. And honestly, I mean, I'm 49 years old, and I really knew nothing about that. I'm an organ donor on my driver's license, but I didn't think about being a living kidney donor. That story, in a very profound way, spoke to me. And as soon as it was over, I said, I need to call. I need to find out more about that and see if that's even something that I can do.
Because that's the thing, you can see something like that, and we all have that moment where we're motivated in the moment to do something, but then it sort of fades away after 24 or 48 hours.
Yeah.
That didn't happen for you?
No. And the only way I can describe it, because often, you know, people have asked, like, why? Why are you doing that? I mean, I can only say it felt like it's what I'm supposed to be doing, and just never looked back.
Is it a lot of paperwork? Is it poking and prodding? I mean, what's happening?
It's a lot of a lot. It's a lot of a lot. It was like the executive physical, I will say. And then they do a bunch of blood work, and then there were other tests where they wanted to make sure, see which kidney function.
Okay.
Assessment to see which kidney worked better.
You were wearing monitors and things at the time?
It was just going through the motions of the testing and knowing that there was someone, but it was a faceless person that needed my kidney.
Is it a phone call? What did they call? Hey, we got someone.
Yes, they did. And she was like, hey, Celeste, I have some good news for you. Someone wants to donate a kidney to you.
When did kidney disease even come into your vocabulary?
I was 35, I think. And I woke up one night and I couldn't breathe.
Just out of the blue?
And it was out of the blue. I had had no issues before then. I woke up one night out of the blue, couldn't breathe. So I went to my primary doctor. She ran tests, and of course she found a lot of protein in my urine.
So is that a sign, the protein is a sign of a problem in your kidney?
Sign of something's wrong with your kidneys. They said, yeah, you're in end-stage renal failure. And to hear that at my age is heartbreaking.
That's it. So you went feeling perfectly normal, healthy, within 6 months being on dialysis.
Yes.
When did the donation part of sort of come onto your radar that, okay, this was going to be an option, this is something I need to do?
December 2019, Dr. Radford in Metrolina Nephrology said, Celeste, everything looks great, it looks awesome, your labs look awesome, you're doing everything you need to do, let's get you on the transplant list. And then May, the 27th, I was officially listed.
Is that a relief being listed at that point?
So I was a little scared. It was a relief.
Yeah.
But it was like, okay, Celeste, this is happening.
It's real now.
Like, it's real now. So of course, when that happened, we just automatically assumed that the only way that I would get a kidney would be through someone passing away. Never did we think at that time that we would get a live donor. But then we started thinking, and I actually, that day, when they called me and told me that I was officially listed, I packed a bag. I was ready.
That must have just hit you though, like, oh my gosh.
I can't believe it.
Answered.
I couldn't believe it. I got off the phone, and my son was home, and I started screaming. And he was like, what is going on? I'm like, you're not gonna believe what phone call I just received.
It's good news that many people who desperately need an organ never get to hear. 17 people die every day waiting for an organ transplant. Many of them are hoping for kidneys. This graph here behind me shows the number of transplants that are needed. You see versus transplants actually performed then in 2019. Demand 4 times higher, unfortunately, than the supply. Part of it is the lack of donors, but finding a match is also rare. If about 10 people offer to donate, maybe one will make it through the process. Your blood types must be compatible. Your tissue types must match. You need to have the right amount of antibodies, and the two bloods must basically bind together. If everything doesn't come together and match up perfectly, the organ could be rejected. It's why Shelley and Celeste had to go through so much testing, even after they matched, all the way up until August 12th, surgery day.
And then I had to really isolate. You know, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to, at the last minute, end up with COVID. So, I mean, Dan was going to the grocery store for me, and I was trying to really just stay locked down so that I didn't end up getting sick and, you know, ruining. It would have been devastating for me, but imagine how devastating for the person that was going to get the kidney if all of a sudden they thought they had a match and then it didn't work out.
The surgery itself, were you nervous going into it? Were you confident it was all going to work?
I was confident that it was all going to work out. I've gotten this far. God has gotten me this far, so there was no doubt.
You still have to go through the process, though, and you have the surgery, and you still have to, I guess, rejection can still be, right, or infection, anything can come up. Was it hard? Was it?
It was, it's very much easier than it used to be years and years ago. It's laparoscopic. So there's only about a 3-inch incision that's right below my belly button, and then they put tools in over in the side, so little tiny incisions over here, 1 3-inch incision here. Not bad. I had, it really wasn't bad. The first day I slept most of the day, but I was doing laps in the neighborhood by Sunday, no problem. And then within 2 weeks, I went back to work after about a week.
Did that surprise you? You were able to do it that fast, recover that quickly?
Yes, I tried to get myself in really pretty decent shape prior. Yeah, it was, I mean, I think it surprised the doctors. Like when I went for my 2-week appointment, I kind of hopped up on the table. He was like, wow, well, that was good, you know, and I said, I feel great. I mean, I still question if they really took out my kidney.
Everyone told me that I would feel completely different, and I'm like, well, I feel okay now. I guess because my body just got used to being however it was, and they're right. I feel amazing. Like I have a pep in my step, and it's amazing.
That's interesting because it is almost like you forget what normal feels like, right?
You do. You really do. It's like, what do you mean? I am normal. I am normal, but now I'm like, a new normal. I have a new normal, a good new normal.
What are you most grateful for?
Life, a better life, a good life. A life now that that doesn't consist of dialysis and scheduling my life around dialysis. Now I only have to schedule my life around nothing.
If someone was watching and thinking about being a live donor, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, do it. I would take Nike's slogan, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. You're giving someone a better life.
You may have heard Celeste mention live donor several times there. She didn't want to feel like somebody had to die for her to live. But the great thing is, this is proof it doesn't have to be that way. Donation efforts don't end by putting your name down as a donor when you get your driver's license. Many people could also be eligible to be a live donor. They just need to sign up. It's perfectly safe, as you heard, and it makes for better outcomes for the recipient. Here's Dr. Vincent Cassengale from Atrium Health.
It's not something that's new, not very often that somebody would be willing to donate a kidney to a stranger.
You would need more people like her. It would be nice, wouldn't it?
It would be great. Living donors are better quality kidneys. They work better, they last longer, they're better for the recipients. And so for situations like this, when it's right, then when the donor can donate and it's safe for them to do, we like to see that. We see really good results with it, and really helps.
And one of the other great things about having a live transplant is the bond you will always have. A couple months after surgery, Celeste and Shelley were able to meet.
Might be a while.
Hi! It would have been all hugs and sitting and talking.
It'll be nice when we can actually.
I know.
Might be a while.
But because of the risk of COVID-19, it was all air hugs and some gifts between Celeste and Shelley.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
But by this point, the two had already spent some time together.
I know, and we're not going to cry, right?
It was just virtually. Their first conversation was the day before.
I would have really had to take a long walk to find you.
Seeing Shelley for the first time, what was that like?
That was amazing. Because of COVID, of course, I didn't think that I would get to see her.
And so to hear her story and to know that I was able to help her, and she's only, it's 10 years ago, she was 35, so she's got a lot of life left to live. So I'm really excited to see her doing so well and to meet her. To actually meet her is just really rewarding. It's really, it was a very life-affirming decision, and just it's just all complete now.
She didn't know who the kidney was going to, and I was the recipient, and I'm so grateful.
What are you most grateful for?
Life, a better life, a good life. I've been telling her thank you, and she's like, no, you only need to say it once and you're done. I'm like, no, you're gonna hear it forever, forever.